All right, we are back for a brand new year. It's not a brand new season, it's a brand new year. It's 2018, and compliments of the season to everybody and all the viewers right here in the World of Champions. It is extra time. It is where we get the weekend going as far as looking back at what happened as far as the action is concerned. It's going to be a busy show. We got three wonderful guests as well, and we bring the old and the new. We bring people that have celebrated birthdays and ones that actually never have birthdays at all. But for today, here on Extra Time, let's quickly have a look at what we are going to be looking at here today as far as the results are concerned. I mean, what a weekend it turned out to be. So here, just the fixtures. But let's go back as far as Ajax Cape Town is concerned. They've got a crucial game against Sundowns coming up live in the World of Champions. That's going to be tomorrow. But they'll be disappointed. Mushinetugral couldn't be on the bench, so he was watching this game from the grandstand as well. They lost at home against Randburg United, who have shown time and time again, with Fadlu Davids in charge, that this is a formidable team, and we'll see where they are as far as the log is concerned. Wits. I don't know. Maybe my guess will help me. But something is happening. Or not happening. They'll break it down. They lost again at home. But the good news is that Free State Stars are on the up and up. I mean, look, Amal, you remember last season when he was at Polokwane City? He took them up to the top half of the Absa Premiership. He's doing the same thing at Free State Stars. The results have been magnificent, and once again, on the road, they got a positive result. So, Polokwane City, talking about them, they've done a double over Mamelodi Sundowns. What a come from behind game that was as well. Ramagalela showing once again the true form that is in. SuperSport United, Kaizer Chiefs, great game, no score as far as goals are concerned. Platinum Stars also struggling. We'll see them at the bottom of the table. Cape Town City. Now, that was a crucial result because at that stage, Free State Stars had gone to second place. And Benny McCarthy's Cape Town City had to come through and push them down to number 3. So Orlando Pirates, finally scoring goals. They were on fire. 3 goals, first off, done. And Baroque FC starting to slide down. Bloemfontein Celtic, well, they gave a good showing against the Golden Arrows. Now, when you look at the highlights of that game, you'll see quite a few missed opportunities from the AmaZulu Chippa United as well. Great to see the youngsters starting to do well. Now, let's see what this translates to as far as the table is concerned. Nice and early in the new year. Now, you look at the gap. It's closed down to just a single point. So that's where Cape Town City are at. But this is important as well. Sundowns still have got that extra game in hand. But it never means anything, though, the game in hand, because it's all about the results. But Free State Stars, we were talking about them just now, in third position. Hey, how will that last? The two teams from the Free State, including Bloemfontein Celtic, having a season that they'll never forget. Great coaches that are in charge of these two clubs as well. So Kaizer Chiefs, the Orlando Pirates, starting to move up. It's about Baroque FC. Remember, at some point, they were at the top. Not looking good for them right now. What about Randburg United? We talk about Fadlu Davids' team. It is a formidable team. They've gone into the market as well. And we're looking at 21 points that they've had. They've won 5 and 15. Lamontville Golden Arrows, who also are on the slide. Big concerns there for Clinton Larson. But it's all about what's happening at the bottom here. Ajax Cape Town, Bidvest, Wits, as well as Platinum Stars. AmaZulu cannot be taken away because they've only just won 3 games in the 16 that they've had so far. So let's quickly have a look now as far as who is scoring what as far as the goals are concerned. Now, people talk about this man being included in the Bafana team. I don't know what he needs to do. Rabakalel. That is him, right there. Top goal scorer. Hey, top goal scorer, 9 goals, just about to hit double figures, followed by Utau, not the one that's on the panel today. Manzini's there. And you look at all of these. Putupa, Letswalo. I'm surprised people haven't gone into the market to try and purchase this player. Fantastic player he is. But, it's still early. Transfer window still open. I'm not suggesting anything. But for Morris, 4 goals. And the same for Madiba as well as Rusike and Zwane as well. Now, we talk about this. It's extra time. We're going to try and break it down. Where are we? Where are we going? Stick around. Don't go anywhere.
I am ready for you. I am ready to deliver. I am ready to mesmerize.
This is a lesson. Things are not done on button in football. It is in process. We are work in progress, and I am happy with the result.
Great goal! 22 years old, is the Zimbabwe international. Lamachi!
We're not yet back from the break. That's it. We didn't need it. We didn't want it more than that.
Curled away. Oh, easy header for Musa Nyatama. The Pirates. Polokwane, the Pirates. Shivo Nothing.
Well, a couple of new deals as well for a few of the Orlando Pirates players that we're seeing on our screens as well. Well, welcome officially to Extra Time on the Monday. We are interactive throughout the entire show. Feel free as well to contact us on social media at the different platforms as well. Twitter already going extremely crazy. I think it's purely because of the advertising of one gentleman that's part of the panel here, which is Ubaba Mtetwa. He's been, he's been waiting since before Christmas for his opportunity to be on the show. Ubaba Mtetwa, good to see you.
Good evening, Rob.
Strong.
Very.
Hey?
As always.
If you had to quickly describe this past weekend, football-wise.
Amazing. Majestic. Fantabulous. Yeah. I think the boys have shown that we can play football, we can score goals. Maybe this is a turnaround time for the clubs now to really show that we can score goals. I mean, 3 goals Saturday, Pirates again Saturday and yesterday, and all of the goals, beautiful goals. It's a sign that maybe 2018 will be the year.
Will be something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much. That is size 11 who's with us as well. The man that celebrated his birthday just the other day is back from a well-deserved holiday. Good to see you. The Kingdom of the Zulus treated you well?
Great, Robbie. Great to be back. You used 3 words and none of them describe KwaZulu-Natal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Great. I mean, people go abroad. I say go to KwaZulu-Natal, go to Balito, go to these places. You're missing out.
How was your birthday?
It was wonderful. Spent it with the family.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. It was really nice.
Right.
Nice and relaxing.
Nice. Welcome back. I mean, hey, not everybody gets the opportunity to turn 72 as much as you have. So great stuff as well. Well, keeping things fairly chilled, he normally does. I mean, from size 11 to pressures, Jimmy Taus, yeah. I'll welcome him officially by his official name. You had a good break?
I know. A well-deserved one.
Yeah.
We couldn't wait to come back, obviously. And you could also see with the results this past weekend that the guys really were missing the game. And a great turnout in terms of the goals also. And also a great result from teams like Polokwane City.
I mean, you talk about that, Mbambe. Let's go straight into it because that's exactly what the referees did. Shai Mbambe. It was game on. Polokwane City, a massive game for them. It looked at some point like they were in charge, Sundowns. But a few things didn't quite go their way, guys. I mean, there was a lot of missed opportunities, but look at that. Quality from Kekana. Great finish. That's exactly, Baba, what a guy like George Libisi needed, given the fact that he's been sitting on the bench for so much time.
True that, Robert. Libisi should play. He left Kaizer Chiefs because he wanted to play football. Yeah. So keeping him on the bench doesn't help his career and the team as well, and the young man's career as well. So given an opportunity, he should do that, score goals, and say that I am hungry, I want to play.
And play he did. I know, Jimmy, you were in studio during this particular game. At that stage, did it ever cross your mind that Polokwane City will pull off the kind of comeback, not only comeback at dominance, and then go on to win the game?
Look, for me, I think there's 2 things. It's how Sundowns started. They started very positive. But secondly, for Polokwane City, they were caught napping in the first 2 minutes of the game, a very critical phase of the game. They were not switched on. But also, when you look at the overall play from Polokwane City, they lost a lot of possession in the build-up phase. And it's a very dangerous area to lose possession. And that is where Sundowns was supposed to capitalize. When you look at the chances that Sundowns missed, it's most chances that Polokwane City actually played into their hands. Here you see a great pass from Sompo Kekana. But now here Tau decides, okay, it's 1 against 1. He cuts inside to come to his stronger foot. He skins the second defender. Here he decides to take responsibility. Shoots, it's on target. Somebody could have argued that he could have passed, but I believe that for a striker to get into that area, it becomes your responsibility to take that charge.
Okay, is that the right way? Again, Farouk, from a coaching perspective, what would Beats have been thinking? Because the camera kept going back to him. Every time Tau had opportunities to either pass the ball, didn't quite convert. He had an opinion, I'm sure, on the bench.
Well, I think, you have to give any player the license when he's within the scoring arc to take the shot, and you can't fault Tau for that. But I think what I've realized with this particular game was that Sundowns play an expensive brand of football, and with that comes risks, Rob. And the risks are, as much as you push numbers forward, as much as you rotate the ball as well as they do, you are going to be vulnerable to the counter-attack. And this is what Polokwane capitalized on, not only now. If you look at the first round game, similarly, Ramakalela punished them similarly. And I think the coach made a very good point when he said some of the guys went back from holiday. So it's all about attitude. I think one of our gents in the studio mentioned attitude is very key. So sometimes when you're playing this brand of football, you need to respect your opponent. And if you are too lackadaisical, especially when you look at transition being a key word in South African football and internationally, teams will punish you. And Polokwane, with the speed and the Ramakaji they have, he's one that will take full advantage of that.
And taking full advantage again, Baba, I want you to help me here, because when it comes to numbers, they don't lie. And we're going to have a look now at what the, some of those missed chances. We'll carry on looking at them, but then we're going to have a look again at the first half match stats, which tell a story. And it's an important story as well, because overall, as we finish these off here, Baba, Uzwane had opportunities, Utau had opportunities as well. The team as a whole had opportunities, but they were not able to convert them. That's a big worry for Peter, given how the gap has now closed.
Look, they're sitting on top, and they were comfortable for the start of the game. And one expected them to carry on with the momentum. Remember, half the time when the team wins the league, if they're playing game number 15 and have 30 points, then they go on to win the league. They would have had 31 if they had won on Saturday. For me, it was an opportunity for Sundowns to stretch the lead. However, having said that, I still feel that the break thing probably is now affecting Sundowns like it normally affects other teams. I don't know if that's the case or not. But if you look at the numbers in terms of ball completion passes and also tackles and possession, that tells you that Sundowns were on top of Polokwane City. But why not score when you are used to scoring? Sundowns score at will. Why not this time? Now, Peter said maybe they're still on holiday. I don't know if they're still on holiday, or maybe the focus has changed.
But it wouldn't say, though, Jimmy, when you look at those numbers, and it's 8 opportunities that they had 4 on target. This is Sundowns. Polokwane City had absolutely nothing on target.
Yeah, I think just like anything in life, if you don't take your opportunity that you are being presented, you might lose a chance. Same thing that happened with Sundowns. They created so many chances, and they did not convert the chances that they created. As a result, they actually allowed Polokwane City to come back into the game because they really had them on the neck. But because they kept on missing chances, it then gave Polokwane City a bit of confidence to say, we can actually salvage something out of this game. And that first goal that they equalized gave them that comfort to say, we're able to compete. Yeah, standard situation. I think bad marking from Sundowns. And I'll say bad marking because when you look at where the set piece is, the line was too close to the goalkeeper. So any touch there, it's easy for Polokwane City to score. In this case, try and keep the line a bit high up and also have a single line instead of having a zonal marking that is not properly coordinated there.
You got to praise the delivery, though. I mean, like time and time again, gives you the quality right. You know, when you just try in, and that's exactly what he did.
For me, it was like Google Earth. Exactly, simple as that.
Google Earth.
Google Earth. He knew exactly where to put that ball. When you Google something, you find it there.
Robbie, there's certain players that just have a knack. He's one of them. Kekana is another player. When they on the ball with the set piece, you got to say to yourself they have a 60 or 70% chance. But just lastly, Robbie, if you look at the reason why there's this inconsistency, look at the top of the table, look at the goal difference. That tells you a big story. Plus 12. Look at the bottom where Wits is, minus 11. That tells you the performance entirely, because goals and how you defend determines the outcome of the game. And this is where consistency is lacking. You find teams, yes, Sundowns lost the game, but I guarantee you, you'll see a totally different performance in the next encounter because of the quality there.
It's a tough one. I mean, you would know Musha Netrogral more than anybody else. You've worked with him. You wouldn't have been happy with the result over the weekend.
No, absolutely.
And it's 2 teams now, because you'd have thought, okay, fine, Sundowns will win against Polokwane City. Now, tomorrow's game becomes so much more intriguing. Two teams on the back of defeats over the weekend, and two coaches that pride themselves over the work that they do. Don't want to come in and get a result as well.
Yeah, no, I think the positive that you can also take out of the Polokwane performance is that they've really narrowed down that margin of big teams and small teams because they are willing to compete. And at this point in time, you find them very comfortable where they are because they find themselves having the edge to also compete at that level. Now, for Ajax coming to Sundowns game, it then gives them a different chapter again to say, as much as we've lost, football will always give you a new opportunity. And I think the game against Ajax and Sundowns is one that you really have to look forward to.
Because as much, Jimmy, and I take your point, we've got to go back to the post-match interview where Fadlu Davids did stress that it's a different Ajax already. You can see the structure, you can see the shape, and you can see the Mushinetrigal hand that is there. And how much more? Yo, Ajax are big few access. But let's go to the goal, though. Umusona came through, managed to score a goal. Now, this is about opening the lead. The quality again, Baba, of that finish. Dennis committed out of his line, but player, well... I mean,
Robert, when I do comment, I always say you don't have to carry the ball into the net. Another player would have wanted to touch the ball probably for once or twice. Yeah. Then all doors would be closed. But as clever as he is, the goalkeeper was there between his legs, majestic. Yeah. For me, that's how you score goals. You don't have to wait for a second chance. The only chance that you get at that moment, take that opportunity, hit the post. It's a goal. And it's not just a goal. It's a beautiful goal.
But he would have been angry. And Farouk, I'm going to bring you into this one here because Opamanyisa was aware of the mistake that he made. But it didn't take long for him to make up for that. And we talk about the quality that Ubaba was talking about here, Farouk, and you see it in just a deft touch.
But this is the important thing, and I'm going to use a term, and I know you're going to say something about it. It's called spatial awareness. Spatial awareness basically means knowing your surroundings. Look at him in that moment. He knew he had to delay his run, and he had to time his run so well. You know, at first, Robbie, it looked offside. But then I used my PVR and I rewound, and it was perfectly timed. PVR. So it just shows the quality of this player.
Sure, PVR.
Yes, PVR.
Yeah, no, he's starting to pay for it.
But also with that, as much as it was such a well-executed pass and the run was also timelessly, I think defensively, Polokwane City could have done much better. In that area, when you defend the box, you must hold the line as long as possible. And it means that everybody must be in the same line. When you look at the goal that they conceded, one player actually played him onside. That's why Ace was able to run in between them. So the idea is that hold the box as long as possible and don't break that line.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a coaching tip right there. And now it was just a matter of time, guys. You know, Ramakale. Now, he's on your side. At some point, somewhere, something's going to happen. Look at that.
But again, Robbie,
to touch it.
But look at how he peels off the defenders. I mean, if you look at it again, if we can have a look at that clip, he's very intelligent. He runs basically off the blind side, off the shoulder of the defender. The defender is ball watching. He makes a run into space. And by the time the defenders recover, he has a shot on target. And look at the quality of that shot, Rob. So this is a striker that I think is highly underrated. Look at that. He allows the ball to go. Defenders have had a chance. He didn't try to stop the ball in turn. He allowed it to run, which shows his intelligence.
I think maybe just to make a contribution also, on the defensive part of Sundowns, you have a player like Nascimento. Football gives you 10, 15 meters of any sprint. Now, when you look at the 10 meters that he took to get to Ramagalela, it just tells you about his fitness levels. Because when the ball gets played across, it takes him a while to cut across so that he can block Ramagalela's shot, because he didn't even take a second touch. And secondly, I think from Onyango to be beaten there, had he closed the angle a little bit, I don't think it would have been a goal easily executed for Ramagalela there.
And once again, I think you guys agree. The quality, it's about the brains. And it's about the football brain that Ramagalela has, the ability to think, outsmart. Nascimento was found wanting. Yeah. Why? Because he did not know. He couldn't think on behalf of Ramagalela what he was going to do. And hence,
he's very intelligent, I agree. He's super fit at this stage of the season. You could see he's running on and off the ball. Technical ability. what Jimmy said about him being a clever player, it's very important. In football, you can't just play. It's not just about your fitness and all that. You also need to have football intelligence. The small thing behind your head must work as well. And
why is he not in the national team?
Well, I think it's about time that we start talking about it.
No, we are. Why is he not in the national team?
We're not scoring goals anyway there.
Why is he not
That's why we're not in the World Cup. So
why is he not in the national
he
team?
should be in the national team now.
Why is he not in the national team?
I don't know. I'm not a coach, but I want the coach to be in the national team.
He's not in the national team because he's not been selected.
As simple as that.
Why has he not been selected?
Maybe the technical team has got a different view.
Why is he not selected? You brought a nice word. Why is he not selected?
He's not selected because he's not part of the coaching group that maybe the coach wants to work with.
Who's top goal scorer?
Well, in the PSL. Makalela.
Oh, Jimmy. In the PSL, and where do you want it to be?
But you've got players who are also doing well overseas. So it does not necessarily mean just because
Who's the top goal scorer overseas?
No, I'm just saying. Just not the argument should be if a player is doing well, he warrants a call-up.
Does he warrant one?
Yes, based on his performance.
Yeah.
Is he part of vision?
We don't select players. We are analysts here. So the coaching staff, it's their responsibility to select players.
But according to Jimmy Dow, should he be in the national team?
Based on his performance, yes.
Okay. Anybody?
No, 100%, Rob.
Okay.
Rob, you can't argue with the statistics, and you can't argue with the fact that if you look at the opposition that we play against in Africa, his physicality will play a major role.
All right. We've said our bit. Let's find out what the coaches had to say, though. Here they are in their own words.
No, Ramajik will always score. He's top scorer in the league. He will get his first chance, he will score. Yeah, but if he score 5 in the first half, he can score his goal, and then it's okay, you know. But yeah, we're not yet back from the break. That's it. We didn't need it. We didn't want it more than them, you know. And I told them at halftime. I said, I've seen a game like this when we played Platinum Stars. Not now, last year. At halftime, I told them, I said, I'm happy that maybe you should learn to park the bus and take it, because this kind of a game, when you miss so many chances, it will come back and bite you. Fortunately, like at Platinum Stars, we scored a goal in the 84th minute at the end. I saw it against Amazulu. You play nice, pretty football, and you don't wrap the chances. And then they beat us, irrespective whether Nomvete's goal was offside, but they beat us. We lost, okay? Today, again, was the same thing. I told them, I never coached at that time. I told them, I said, there's only one thing I'm going to tell you, that this will come back and bite you. And I told them, I said, I'll be very happy if we don't, even if we don't score, but they don't score. But it's mentality, it's attitude. They're not ready, they're not back. These are kind of games that we coaches, we can't do nothing but to bring them back. And each and every one must look at himself and say, was I ready or not? You know? So maybe the supporters must boo us and then we can win. Because they've got good spirit, they love the team. But this and losing and people are singing for us, it's good for football, but no, I mean really, we need to wake up.
I think credit must go to the players because they really fought very hard. If you can check well, we conceded early and then I was not happy. That is something that I told them right after that. I was not happy with the way we conceded because I believe we could have done better. We could have organized better and also concentrate because it's the early minute of the game. You need to focus. If you play teams like Sundowns, obviously they're good in reading those situations, understand. So, but after all, after I spoke to them, I think I told them that they have to get a goal, in first 10 minutes so that they can bring us back into the game because we didn't start well. I think for the 35 minutes, at least the last 10 minutes, when we have the ball, we play a little bit, we looked good. And that gave us courage to say, if we can be able to play those combined passes and get behind them, if we can do that more, then we can get something. Then fortunately enough, we managed to score and we score again. Sundowns came back strong. They equalized, but the boys didn't give up. They kept on fighting, and then we managed to get a win. I think it was a good win for us because we wanted this to improve our position on the log.
All right, Coach, congratulations. And I think Polokwane City right now looking the part as far as the Absa Premiership is concerned. All right, send us what are your thoughts as far as Twitter is concerned. A lot of you giving us your opinions. We'll take a few of those in just a second after the break. After the break, though, we're going to look at Orlando Pirates, their search forward as far as the 3 goals are concerned. Some new names that have come through for Pirates, so they're going to be digging into the transfer market as well. We'll wait and see. It's about the youngsters. It's what Micho Shredojevic wants to put forward and implement. It was an exciting looking Pirates team, and I don't know, guys, you're going to have to help me here with Baroque FC as far as what's going on. But firstly, Chiefs, there was a substitute moment where Steve Kompela was looking at the guys that were warming up, trying to decide who he wants to put in on the field. But then he did realize that there's another top player that they might sign this week at Kaizer Chiefs who was actually warming up in the grandstand. And as Sizwe Mabena lays it out nicely, he's gone on a strict diet, he's looked after his weight, he's looked after everything that has to do with him as a football player. He's in tip-top shape. Corley, check him out.
Well, we've seen only one change so far in the match. Change number 1 from a Kaizer Chiefs point of view may still be coming our way. United have made the change. The big question is, will Kwali be the man coming on here from a Steve Kompela point of view? He's clearly spent his December staying in great shape, eating all the right foods, chisanyamas and all, and then an extra serving of pop and relish, and he's relishing his chance at a run here. Steve, put me on, I'm ready, coach. Come on, coach. Who needs a six-pack when you